Ever since I was a kid, I loved spending vacations in a small village near the city. It was not unusual for us to have strangers around, considering how close we were to the city. In the winter, we gathered with the boys near a small ice rink near a pine forest. We split into teams and played hide and seek. While some of us counted to 300, the rest of us hid around the neighborhood, waiting for darkness to fall, lying on the frozen ground, hoping they wouldn't be found. That time I was among those hiding. I rushed into the woods, found a cozy spot on the edge of our playground, and crawled under a leaning spruce tree, hoping to spend about an hour there, and then happily declare myself the winner. Snow began to fall, and I quickly hid to cover my tracks. I prepared a pile of pine branches to shelter me during the long wait. Game on. Dusk turned to late evening, and I lay like that for 40 minutes without hearing a single footstep or voice of the searchers. I began to relax, unaware of any unexpected twists and turns. Then suddenly, about 20 yards away, I noticed a flickering flashlight. At first I burrowed deeper into my hiding place, trying not to be seen. But then I noticed a figure whose shadow was clearly outlined in the snow because of the flashlight's light. I squinted and saw not my friends, but the clear figure of a grown man. He resembled an old forest dweller from some fantasy or mystical story. I was deeply frightened and didn't know what to do. It could have been just a laborer or a wandering stranger, both of which were common in these parts. I raised myself slightly to try to see the face, but unfortunately the pine needles beneath me snapped. For a moment I froze, awaiting the action of the mysterious figure. The sound was so loud that the silhouette stopped and looked in my direction. My heart dropped. Suddenly the man started to make his way towards me, and out of fear I grabbed a stick lying nearby and threw it at the silhouette with all my might to distract him. Luckily, my marksmanship didn't fail me, and the strange man in old worn-out windbreakers stopped and started looking around. When he moved a couple of meters into the depths, I got up, took my flashlight and ran as fast as I could towards my friends, because I realized that I might miss my only chance. I ran without stopping for a few minutes and ran out onto a familiar road. When I saw my friends, I rejoiced like a child, but shock still enveloped me and my frozen body stiffened my movements. When I ran up to them, they were greatly surprised, not expecting to see me. They first laughed and asked why I had come to them myself, and only then did I tell them everything that had happened to me. Suddenly their faces changed. My friend told them about a serial killer who had recently escaped from a mental hospital and had been declared insane by the court. The cold once again ran through my already frozen body parts. I realized for a second that I might have been on the verge of certain death. My friend quickly called the others and told them to get out of the woods. This story really got our heads spinning. We were so used to visitors and local gamekeepers that we were usually not afraid of anyone, but the mysterious appearance of a man in a completely deserted part of our village stunned us. We decided not to tell the adults anything, but to try to find out who it was on our own. We decided to act all together and find out the whole truth. Just like in a real knight's quest. Over the next few days we actively prepared for the search for the mysterious man. We packed our backpacks, armed ourselves with shovels, drank hot tea and went to wait at the very spot where I had luckily first seen the mysterious silhouette. My friends and I kept watching almost until dark, but for several days we didn't see anyone else. After a few days, everyone got sick of it, and some even started gossiping that I made up the story to scare everyone else. After a month, everyone completely forgot about the incident. And perhaps we would never have remembered it again if in the spring of that year we had not met a neighbor we knew, a worker from a neighboring town. He was dressed in an old hunter's suit and was walking into the woods early in the morning. For some reason he seemed very familiar to me. We said hello to him and asked him where he was going. He replied that he was looking for some hunting equipment that he had lost in the woods during the winter. I think it was back when you guys were playing hide and seek. He said. We all froze, realizing what he meant, and it hit us all at once. We exchanged glances. It was indeed our old friend, the laborer who had scared us to death that cold winter evening. We didn't give a hoot and walked away, wishing him luck in finding his lost items. That's how this amazing story ended, which made us stop playing hide and seek in the woods.